Hey, Dammy, hey, Tids, how you both doing? And Happy New Year. Oh dear, that paint water looks terrible. Hey, Kean, how you doing? I'll be right back, folks. I've just looked at my paint water and it looks a bit foul, so I'm going to get some fresh before we start. That's better. I'm back. Hey Sheridan, how you doing? Hey everyone. How y'all doing? I'm just gonna wiggle my camera a little bit. That's better. And I'm a bit warm. We've not long since got back from walking Porthos, so I am gonna shed my cardigan for now. Fireworks kicking off here proper. Oh, Tids, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, bless you. We've had a few fireworks around here the last few days, so I can only imagine how rough it's been for you. I'm sick, so just relaxing in bed and watching the stream. Well, I hope you have a nice time here and that we can take your mind off of your ailment, Sheridan. Have some Christmas cake and 2 litres of wine for this evening. Nice. Definitely, Tids. I'm on the Iron Brew until midnight, and then I'll probably have a tot of Goldwasser to ring the new year in with, and that'll be it for me. Oh really, Tids? Exciting. I will be, or I intend to be, going till my usual time of 7, because I've got plans with Slow tonight. We're going to... Oh no, by all means, Dammy, add it to the jukebox. Especially if it's Surface Pressure. I fucking love that track. Lin-Manuel Miranda is a fucking amazing composer. Very talented musician. Very talented writer.
Hello there.
That is his name, isn't it? I always get really confused about names. Especially when I'm tired. Hey Rocket, hey Pudlord, how you both doing? Hey Sol, how you doing? Wet palettes. I've actually had to refresh mine today, Sol, so I'll explain to you if you want, before I start putting any paint on it. So Slow and I have agreed that tonight we're going to marathon the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And that's how we're going to spend our New Year's Eve. 'Cause we're dorks, frankly. See you in 3 weeks. Indeed. Okay, so... the wet palette. I've got the Redgrass. This is the smaller wet palette they do. They do a bigger one called the Studio Wet Palette, which I think is about as big as the space I actually hobby in, so it's no good for me. Very pretty though. Thank you very much, Dammy. Oh, We Don't Talk About Bruno's a really good one too. So, what I do is, you can see I've got fresh paper on there, so I can't really show you in any detail, but I run my wet palette under the tap with the sponge in the palette until it goes this sort of... Let's see if you can see that. Let me turn this light off, that might help. There we go. So you can see it's fully saturated, and if I touch it, I get like a little bit of wet residue on my finger. So it's I hate saying it, but it's moist to the touch. You don't have to apply any pressure, and a little bit of water will come off on your finger. And if you've got any water, just sort of... Hey, Dark Angel's Fallen, how you doing? Hey, Random, how you doing? And thank you, Dark Angels Fallen, for being subscribed for 2 months. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yeah, so... you'll probably have a little bit of water sort of sloshing around in the bottom of the wet palette. What I do is I just tip it into the sink until it's not coming out easily. But this is still nice and damp, and I don't squeeze it or anything, so it's still got plenty of moisture in it. And then I put my paper on. And I just sort of lay the paper on top very gently, wait for it to settle, and then I flatten it out with my hands like this. But you've got to make sure that your fingers are dry when you're doing that, because if you get any moisture on the top of the paper, it'll knacker it. You won't be able to use it as a wet palette then. Painted some Lord of the Rings minis. Wicked! I would like to get some Lord of the Rings minis, because Slow wants to start doing battle companies next year. But that is going to be difficult for me because I chose, yet again, one of the harder to come by armies, apparently. I want to do hobbits. I like hobbits, they're cool. Yes, hello to everyone that's come in. I hope you're all doing well. We've still got all the music in the jukebox from the pre-Christmas stream, so there's probably quite a few Christmas songs in here still. I hope folks don't mind. Yeah, so the plan for this stream: hobbits are cool, hobbits have a nice vibe. They do. They have a lovely vibe, and they're wonderful little beans, and I have an appreciation for their love of nature. Christmas is so 2021. Yeah, well, so is today, technically. What's left of it. Oh. Yeah, so the plan, such that it is that we will finish the Venkman raccoon, so that I will have, in time for the new year, completed my entire Ghostbusters squad. That's the plan. I'm just going to put them up here so I can get to them easier later. And obviously, we've got the little Slimer that I made to go on the base as well. I did leave Venkman until last, partially because he's my least favourite of the Ghostbusters, but also because I wanted to do something that I've never done before. I want to have a go with some water effect to make it look like he's been slimed. So I'm a little bit nervous about doing it, so I'm putting it off, basically. Hey, Destroyer, how you doing? Happy New Year. Perhaps I'll be able to use the paint longer than a few minutes before it dries. Fingers crossed, Soul. Because the paint that was on here was still wet from before Christmas. Hey, Session, how you doing? Halo MP continues to be a hate-love relationship. Yeah, I get that, Rocket. Hope it's going alright, though.
Hello there.
Hey, Cypher, how you doing? Yes, Tids. It's a very talented fella. Just woke up. Well, good morning. I seem to have a cold. Oh no, Cypher. I hope you feel better soon. Okay, so let's see. What have I got left to do on this guy? Quite a fair bit, let's face it. I've not done his face or his fur or anything yet. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to refresh my palette with all the paints I'm going to need. I've got a little bit of skeleton bone, which is an army painter paint, which I'm using for his armour, as well as elfic flesh, which is a Vallejo paint. I generally don't like Vallejo paints very much, but the elfic flesh is quite nice to use. It's Kashpanuka. Yeah, the Vallejo paints tend to be a bit too thin for my liking, but that one's nice. Christmas cake scoffed. I have now remembered I don't like Christmas cake. I don't either, Tids. I've never been a big fan of fruitcake. Bless you, Porthos. Well, if you roll around under my desk, you're bound to find dust, aren't you, you silly bugger? I've got some pure red, which we're going to use for some of the accents. And orc skin, which we'll also use for some of the accents and bits and bobs. I'm a Christmas pudding fan, who would have thought? I don't know what you mean, Pudlord. Nominative determinism at its best. Oops, that's a bit too much green. We definitely don't need that much. We need more red than we do green. So I'll just... There we go. It's better. Tube. Okay, and for the fur, we've got some Eshen Grey. If it doesn't need unplugging, it needs unplugging. Oh, Porthos. What's up, matey? P wants to come and sit with me, but I am way too warm to have him on my lap at the moment. Also, he completely ruined my nap earlier after work. Cuss. Oh dear. Am I running out of Eshen Grey? I might be running out of Eshen Grey, folks. There we go. Bit of Eshen Grey. Pope Tex. Ah, yes, of course. Sol is one of the high-ranking members of the cult of Porthos. Thank you for the treat for Porthos, Sol. Oh, it may be, Destroyer, that it doesn't like that specific link, but it will add the song if you've got a different link. TechSquig's a bit finicky these days. Thank you for the treat for Porthos, Tids. Oh, Porthos. He's getting an extra one because he bounced that one off of his nose and underneath my printer. And even he's not daft enough to try and fish that one out. Okay, so that's the Eshen Grey down. And the other grey we're using for the fur is the Mechanicus Standard Grey. I need to do something different and have some Blue Warriors and Minas. Awesome! That's going to look really good. Are you going to be posting pictures of them somewhere? Because I would love to see them. Oh, we've got a little bit of an overflow from the Mechanicus Standard Grey there, so I'll just wipe that on the palette. For Gondor! And then we need... not that one. Not that either. That's brown. Ah, there it is. For the Proton Pack, because we're going for a like the old toy line look, we need some Elatok Blue. For the metal bits, some lead belcher. Still be on the sprue though. Oh, okay. Dark Angels. Any particular reason for that? Okay, what am I missing? I'm missing something. Ah, yes, of course. We've not painted his eyes yet. And for his eyes, we're going to need some matte surface primer, because I'm too lazy to use black paint. Welcome back, Dammy. And this is my favourite primer. The Green Stuff World matte surface primer is really good. You only need a tiny little bit, and it goes for ages, for want of a better description. And a little bit of spaceship exterior to do highlights with. PSA, please only prime matte surface with permission. Indeed. Oh. Do I need anything else? Ah, there are 2 more paints I need. I think, yes. So, bit of Rakarth flesh, because I found that this is really, really good for doing the bits of his armour that are overlapping on other ones. Oh, apparently it's something to do with if the URL is part of a playlist or not, or something like that. Destroyer. It's weird. And a little bit of leather brown, because he's got some shoulder straps that keep the proton pack on his shoulders. So, you know, just a little leathery colour to work with that. And we only need a tiny bit of that. So that's quite a few paints. I know that there's folks out there that do like paint your miniature using only 3 colours. Oh, that's weird, Destroyer. It should behave then. Maybe Tex was just in a mood. So, we've got all the paints we need. My favourite fur brush. There we go. 33 minutes and 38 seconds away. Damn. There is a lot of stuff in the playlist. Yeah. A little bit of classic Batman. I'm alright with that. I'm just cleaning my brush. You can't see because I'm doing it slightly off screen, unfortunately. But yeah. There is a little bit of grey paint stuck in my favourite brush for doing fur, and I want to get it out before I get started. Super organised stream tonight, as you can tell. Okay, I think we're good now. I have no idea, Dammy, because I've not seen it yet either. They added a Clippy nameplate in Master Chief Collection. Oh my god, that's amazing. Who even organises that? I know, right, Tids? This is adorable. And I like the little video as well. Very cute. Very cute. Okay. So, we'd already started work on making the fur look more like fur and less like plastic last time. This was before Christmas, because I wasn't very well over Christmas, so I didn't get anything done over Christmas. I'm going to be using my Insane Detail brush to add a little bit of Eshin Grey over the primer, because I never actually finished painting the back of his head. Oh, Tids. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm still a bit rough myself, but I think the problem I've got is something that's just not going to go away for a while now. It is indeed Destroyer. Because I've been having some, hey guys, how you doing? Happy New Year. Well, nearly. I'm just going to be saying Happy New Year to everyone, even though it's not actually New Year yet. Yeah. To be fair, Destroyer, I've not had many issues with them. This is the only one that's been a persistent issue. And it doesn't happen all that often. It's still 2020, right? Yeah, it fucking feels like it around them. Really fucking does. Oh, Key and I have been there. Fucking love eclairs. Slow was actually a little bit horrified the other day. So I got a box of Turkish Delight. I got a bottle of strawberry flavoured fizzy gummies. What else did I get? I got something else. I know I did. But anyway, I got like easily 2-3 weeks worth of sweets for Christmas. And I ate them all in 3 days, and Slow was just like, what? Why? You can put whatever music you like in the jukebox, as long as it's not shitposty stuff, as Tids has said. And if the music video for whatever it is a little bit, you worry it might upset people, then let me know, because we've got a oh no, the TV is broken but the sound still works feature for these streams now, just in case. Nice, Tids. Bargain. Okay, you may have noticed that I've not put anything over the primer on his eyes. That's 'cause, as you'll probably know, raccoons have like a little bandit mask around their eyes. Indeed, Session. And oh gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I just saw your message. I'm sorry to hear that. She now heads up and gives the Valkyries a run for their money. Good. Wondering if we can put a petition together to get some stream elements to develop a chatbot app. Yeah, a proper chatbot app would be nice. Though I've got to admit, I do like the fact that everything's sort of built into OBS, so I don't have to open multiple applications when I'm streaming, because it feels a little bit less RAM intensive. But I would really like it if like we had a few more features added to it. Maybe not straight away, but like I'd like to be able to have multiple different sound files in my sound commands again, like I used to. Because I can't even code around that. I tried. I spent 4 hours trying to learn how to code around it, and I found out that you just can't in Stream Elements' setup, which is a shame. Oh, that's awesome, Tids. Good luck with it, that's great. Maybe Destroyer. But yeah, I do like the fact that it's not quite so RAM intensive as the setup I had before. And obviously I like the fact that I'm not tacitly supporting Streamlabs and their stealing free shit and copywriting it ways, which is just dick. Okay. Need a little bit more of the skeleton bone in there. So I'm taking the elfic flesh and the skeleton bone and mixing them together to make the armor colour. And for those that haven't seen my other Ghostbuster raccoon painting videos, streams, whatever, the reason I've gone for this armor colour is because it's the same colour as their jumpsuits. The Ghostbusters themselves, that is. So I'm just sort of getting my base layers on, and then I'm going to start putting some depth into stuff. The only reason we started putting depth into the tail was so that I could stick him to the base. Just to make everything else a bit easier. It's great fun, isn't it, Geist? That Dark Souls Academy stream that Longfang ran was so helpful for me. Because it really gave me a good grounding in some of the earlier stuff. I'm much further on now. I've done the bell ringing. Hey up, Cyborg, how you doing? I've done the bell ringing bit, and I'm now, you know, trying to bullshit my way into heaven, as it were. It's ooh, Wonder Boy. Good choice, whoever put this in. It's going. Yeah, same Geist, except I didn't give up. I'm one of those people that if I can't beat something, I just keep, like, attacking it until I beat it. And I was talking to Longfang about how I was getting on with my playthrough. And I said to him that these skeletons were just harassing me, and he was like, no, leave the skeletons alone. There's some cool loot over there, but they're not designed to be beatable. Just leave them alone. I was like, but I want to kill them. They're there. I should be able to kill them. It's not fair. But I actually started making progress in the game after I stopped trying to fight the skeletons. Apparently that's like a rite of passage for people when they play Dark Souls for the first time. You murder those skeletons, or you try to murder those skeletons at the very least. Find out that you can't, and then get beaten up by them a few times. I will probably, at some point in the future, stream Dark Souls. Because I do really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. But I want to finish my first playthrough first. Because it's the kind of game that if you don't know what you're doing, it can get very, very boring for the people watching if you spend, like I did the other night, 4 hours trying to beat the same dude. I totally was Session. Did bullshit my way through the Bull Demon, though. That's fair. The first time I fought the Taurus Demon, I was fucking terrified. I had no idea what I was walking into. I was like, I know there's going to be a boss here. There's going to be a boss here, isn't there? I'm probably not prepared for this. Got my arse handed to me repeatedly. And then a few weeks back, I wasn't well enough to be at my computer. Really wanted to play Dark Souls. Found a cheap copy of Dark Souls for the Switch on eBay. Bought it. Started a playthrough on the Switch. Knew what I was doing this time. Got to the Taurus Demon in like half an hour, if that. Kicked his ass. First time round. Carried on. It was great. Felt super powerful. In comparison to when I got to the Taurus Demon in my PC playthrough. Recently watched all of Brutal Legends cutscenes, and wow, is that a fun story. Oh yeah, it's a fab story. And that's fair, Dammy. Like, one of the reasons it took me so long to even attempt a Dark Souls game was because I'd seen all of the get good stuff on the internet and just thought, I don't think I want to be associated with that kind of group of people. And I'm not good at video games. We all know this. So I didn't think I was going to be able to play it. I thought I was going to hate it. But I don't. I love it. I love puzzling stuff out when I die repeatedly in the same place. And yeah, it can get a bit frustrating if you're throwing yourself at the same bit over and over again for a while, but if you take a step back and have a think and take a deep breath, then you can get through just about anything. It's just about taking a moment to survey your surroundings, I guess. Am I excited for Elden Ring? Yes. I mean, I won't be getting it for a good long while, because I've got another Dark Souls game and a copy of Bloodborne to play yet. So I don't need to worry about buying it, but the stuff I've seen for it looks so good. It looks so pretty. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with it. Soul, you asked about the NPC storylines. Any in particular? Like, I talk to Solaire whenever I see him. Because I love Solaire, he's my favourite. He's my boy. And I know Lautrec's storyline. Not that that matters anymore, if you get my drift. Jedi Fallen Order, which I liked, just never finished, and Bloodborne, which I didn't like so much, but my little sister's boyfriend really likes it and wanted someone to play with. Okay. From what I understand, from what people have said to me about Bloodborne in comparison to Dark Souls, Bloodborne's a little bit speedier. Now, if anybody in chat has played Bloodborne and Dark Souls and can confirm this for me, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, I think it's a bit faster paced in terms of the combat. But it is largely very similar to Dark Souls. So if you didn't enjoy Bloodborne, you might not enjoy Dark Souls, but can't hurt to give it a try. Much more aggressive playstyle encouraged. Right, yeah. I am not a very aggressive player. Yeah. Love this song. I'm a Dark Souls heretic in that I like 2 over 1. I don't own 2, so I'll be playing 1, I'll be playing 3, because I own Dark Souls 3, and that was the first one I owned for some weird and wonderful reason. So I will not be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with you on that one, I'm afraid, session, purely because I don't own that game. Bloodborne is very, very, very good. Love Solaire. Yeah, Solaire's my boy. So, when you talk to him later in the game, he's like, you talk to me a lot. Anybody'd think you fancied me, basically. And I was just stood there like, holy shit, is Solaire flirting with me? I mean, I'm okay with that. But, it's like, I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole trying to find out whether he says that to you no matter which gender you've chosen for your character. Which he does, which makes me even happier. I'll back you up. I love to. There we go. I mean, if I happen to find a copy of it on the cheap, I might pick it up and then I'll play it so that I can have my own opinion on the matter, but that's one way to describe what I did to him, Sol. Put it this way, I will be making some very snap decisions in my Switch playthrough. And no, I've not played the reboot of Shadow Warrior Destroyer. Is it any good? Just making sure I've not missed anything. Yeah, they do, don't they, Pudlord? Like I said earlier, Lin-Manuel Miranda is a fucking genius. Like, I'm quite fond of classic hip-hop, I guess is the best way to describe the stuff I like. Not so big on the newer stuff. But, yeah. So I'm quite fond of Hamilton. It's really well put together. Really catchy tunes, and well, you put the guy behind Hamilton in charge of your music, it's always going to be fucking good, in my opinion. Intro is something I cannot spoil as it's epic. Awesome. I'll have to take a look. But that's why I only get sick on work days. I said it must be my weekend immune system. Fucking love it. I like that one. And yeah, Encanto is such a great film. If you have access to watch it, I highly recommend it. And I found out something really, really interesting about it, actually. Somebody in the animation community on Twitter thought it would be a clever idea to try and... Yes, it is, Dammy. Welcome back, Dark Angels. Yeah, so somebody in the animation community on Twitter thought it would be a clever idea to try and start drama about the fact that the characters in Encanto, an animated film, make exaggerated expressions like a cartoon character would. Almost like they're animated characters in an animated film. But that aside, somebody pointed out in the comments of that particular utterly pointless drama that the exaggerated expressions that the characters use are actually codified expressions. It's a language, a visual language that was developed by Colombian communities when they were being persecuted. So instead of communicating through words and written language, they used body language to communicate things to one another so that they wouldn't give away what they were doing to the people that were colonizing them. And all of the little expressions that are in the film that the characters use with each other are actually these code expressions, which is just such a wonderful little detail. Non-verbal communication, fuck yeah, exactly. It's so great though. Like the person that was explaining it is a Colombian person who whose family has, you know, for obvious reasons, has grown with those kind of non-verbal communication elements as part of their family language. And the fact that Disney have gone to the effort to actually put that in there is so great. Like, I know there are a lot of problems with Disney as a company, but the care and attention that the animators put into the things that they produce is just so wonderful sometimes. Like Pixar's oh gosh, what was it called? Soul, which is a Disney Our Overlords, indeed. Pixar's Soul, which is about a music teacher who, he was an aspiring jazz musician. He meets an untimely end, and in the afterlife decides he wants to try and get back to his own body, and go back to life and like live his life essentially. Because he gets his big break and dies just before his big break is about to happen. Oh, cool. Thank you, Destroyer. I'll take a look after the stream. But there's a scene in that film where he goes into a black barbershop. And the execs apparently didn't want to put that scene in the film. But the animators and the consultants that were working on making this film feel real were adamant this had to be in there. And when they did test screenings of this barbershop scene, it was the most liked part. People loved it because it felt so authentic, because the people behind it had, you know, they were people of colour. They had lived in these communities, they'd grown up in these communities their entire life, and they'd drawn on their own personal experiences of going into barbershops and what it's like in those barbershops to write this scene. And it's such a wonderfully written scene. Like, obviously I don't have those experiences, so I can't say that they're accurate, but it felt so vivid, so real, so tangible in comparison to this frankly very silly plot, you know? And it's a wonderfully put together scene. There's so much detail, so much thought, and so much love that's gone into it. I love stuff like that. And I think the animators and the writers at Disney have really ramped that kind of stuff up over recent years, and good on them. They work for an evil megacorporation, but they're good people. And good on them for creating wonderful art. Wonderful inclusive art as well. Some really great queer stories coming out of the Pixar Spark Works, I think it's called, as well. It's a series of shorts created by their staff. People that wouldn't normally, for want of a better description, get the opportunity to create actual films and stuff like that, normally in the background and working on the smaller details of the bigger picture, getting the opportunity to show off what matters to them, and I love that. It's great. Oops, I got a little bit of the armour paint on his leg, but that's fine, we can sort that out in a minute. Anyway, now that I've gushed about animation for 10 minutes, it's time to put some paint on this raccoon. Trying really hard to avoid getting paint on the things it's not supposed to be on. Doesn't always go well, that's okay. I think one of the most important things to remember when it comes to minis is sometimes you're going to get paint in the wrong place, and that's okay. No harm, no foul. Just paint over it. Sorted. Oh god, some of the moulding on the quivers. Oh god, I can imagine Dark Angels. Always up for an animation, Gush. I'm glad, Dammy. I'm glad. For anyone in chat that's not always up for an animation, Gush, I am sorry. It's kind of what I do. If someone gets me started, I won't stop. From 2003, so yeah.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Indeed, Sol. No mistake is actually a mistake. We just have happy accidents, and sometimes we'll paint over them and it'll be fine, and sometimes we'll just leave them there. I had the very ambitious thought that I was going to do some work today. Body says no. Oh, I have been there, Pud. Like, I really wanted to stream on... Thank you, Dark Angels. On, was it Boxing Day? Yeah, I think it was Boxing Day. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Sheridan. I do like talking about animation. I'm a big stop-motion nerd, mostly, but the animation industry in general is just something that I'm very impassioned about. Also, really good choice, Tids. I like this track. Oh, those of you that were watching ages and ages ago, my Hollow Knight playthrough on Saturday nights, I will be going back to Hollow Knight once I've finished Kaiju Noir, because I now have a controller that I can use that has a functioning D-pad. So I can finally finish that. Eee! Ooh! Joe Hisaishi, lovely. Nice choice, Dark Angels. Joe Hisaishi is the composer for basically all of the music that you see in Studio Ghibli films. And it's such lovely, peaceful music. Yay! More depressing bug times! Yes, more depressing bug times. I am gonna start a new save off stream before I go back to it though, because I can't remember how to play it. This tune makes me think of a show from my youth called The Secret Life of Machines. The name sounds familiar, Cypher. Stop motion is awesome, so I can completely understand. Oh, Sheridan, you would have loved the exhibition I went to in Edinburgh last month. Feels like so long ago now. I went to the Ray Harryhausen Titan of Cinema exhibition while I was in Edinburgh, and oh my god, it was so cool. Like, the stuff they were talking about in the videos that they'd got playing, there's all stuff I already knew because stop motion nerd, but being able to actually see the armatures and the production drawings and all that kind of stuff, so good. Hey Ray, how you doing? Oh, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. Now, I have just heard a very big firework. It's okay, Bubby. Porthos looks okay for the moment. But if there's any more in quick succession, I may have to end the stream early. Good job I decided to start early, isn't it? Yes, let's get some happy birthdays for Ray in chat, shall we? Because he's a good bean. To be fair, Cypher, a lot of the stuff I watched as a kid was stuff that wasn't on TV. Like, I grew up watching things like Ulysses 31 and Teen Wolf, the animated series, for anyone that remembers that. Because my parents got the VHSs really cheap at the market. Okie dokie tids. If you need to, like, blanket fort or something, then you go do that, okay? You do what you need to do tonight. And that goes for everybody else as well, whether you're, similarly struggling with the sky booms or not. Take care of yourselves. You should take care of yourselves every day, but it's hard to take care of yourself in the winter, I know that. My chair is fortified. Good, good. That's better. Oh, awesome, Destroyer. Hope you have a really good time. I'm sure you will. I think when the world's not on fire, I'm gonna have a New Year's with my friends. Depending on where I am at that point in time. Will depend on which friends I have New Year's with, but yeah. It's been a long time since I've been able to spend a New Year's with friends. Thanks to one thing or another. Winter is rough, the air outside makes my face hurt and the sun goes down at 4, so it's always good to treat yourself extra given that. Exactly. I've been having some really serious trouble with my lungs the last few days, and I don't know if it's because people keep setting fireworks off or because of the moisture in the air from all the rain and the snow. But yeah, winter's hard. Winter is hard enough on everybody, so don't be hard on yourselves. I don't know, Rocket, who does play the protagonist in Way of the House Husband's English dub? And is that the animatic? Because it's not really a... Oh my god, that's amazing. That works so well. I've seen Book of Boba Fett, and I'm very angry at Jon Favreau for claiming credit on someone else's work. Oh, I don't know about the claiming credit on someone else's work thing, Ray, but as always, because it's brand new, please refrain from any spoilers. I have seen it. Stargate Sg1 was my jam when I was a kid. Oh, no, same, Sheridan. I watched it with my dad. We were a Stargate household. More than likely going to be at the Tap and Tumbler. Were it not for the drama going off, we might have gone to the cell. Fair play, Destroyer. Oh, that's a shame, Ray. I mean, I would say, is there any possibility that he didn't know, and that he's just come to the same conclusion as whoever wrote that piece? But Favreau's the kind of guy that does his research, so I'd be surprised if that was the case. Welcome back, Tids. Angry on the original writer's behalf, and Disney have a track record. Yeah, that's fair, Ray. I understand that. Oh, Ninja Brian. Actually, that would anybody be kind enough to put some TWRP in the jukebox for me? I've not listened to them in a little while. And they are one of those bands that I absolutely love to share with people. So apparently Just Eat doesn't like my VPN. Oh dear, Cypher. I suppose if it's making it look like you're in another city, or even another country, that would be why. Love TWRP. Yeah, me too. We missed out on the opportunity to see them when they were in the UK a while back, and I was really disappointed. We did get to see the Proto Men though, so that was good. And their new album's really good. I mean, no surprises there, but they're just a really fun band, and they do some really wholesome shit. Some really badass visuals like this negative black hole. Yeah, it's really, really good. Yes, I have, Ray. Hang on, I'll put Venkman down. There's Zeddemore, Spengler, and Stantz. The plan is to get Venkman done before the end of this stream, so that I can start on a new project in the new year. Oh, that's more watery than usual. I don't think I've ever internalised the Ghostbusters names. I watched Ghostbusters a lot as a kid, and I watched a lot of the TV series. Both Real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters. I've always used descriptions. Oh, really? What are your descriptions for them? I'm switching to my Psycho brush to do what I'm doing now, which is getting some of the black primer and making the bandit masks, for want of a better description. Because I'm trying to make sure that they've got such fond memories of Extreme. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to make sure that there's some feathering, for want of a better description, around the eyes. Now, the one thing that is really fun about raccoons is that they have almost entirely black eyes. So to make their eyes stand out from the black around their eyes, what I've been doing is taking a little bit of the Eshin Grey and basically using it like eyeliner. Just brushing a little tiny bit of it onto their waterline, for want of a better description, so that there's a little bit of difference. Glasses, Bill Murray, frumpy, mustache. That works, Pudlord. So glasses is Egon. Bill Murray is Venkman. Frumpy. Oh, Frumpy must be Race Dance, because he doesn't have a mustache. And then mustache must have been Winston Zeddemore. Here we go. And then once I've got the grey on the waterline, I get a tiny bit of spaceship exterior. And let's see if I can. Let's see if I can go 4 for 4, because it's worked every time so far. Let it. Are we allowed to talk about Cowboy Bebop? Are there any folks in chat who have not yet seen the live-action Cowboy Bebop and would like to, I think is the best question, because I know it's been out for a little while. I've seen it. Okay. People wanted to see it. I actually quite enjoyed it, Tids. And I know Graf did as well. A lot of folks that took exception to it because it's different from the anime that it's based on. And to be honest with you, that's always going to be the case. The thing is, Tids, it wasn't. It was so badly received by a large portion of the fan base that it's been cancelled. It was a fun sci-fi series. Yeah, exactly. And I think people forget that that's what it was supposed to be more than anything else. It's a riff on the anime, so it's its own thing. Exactly, Torpor. Still better than I expected. Fair play. But yeah, it's a real shame that it's been canned. There we go. So what I do is I take a tiny, tiny droplet of the spaceship exterior and just try to... Also the Dark Crystal, that cancellation really hurt. Yeah, the Dark Crystal series was so good. I really enjoyed it. I'm actually going to try for a second droplet on this eye. Or at least make that one a bit bigger. Okay, that might be a little too big. Let's see if I can... Oh no, that's okay. There we go. You can just sort of see that. But now it looks like he's got something other than just, you know, flat eye pits there. Put a little bit more grey under the eye, just to make them stand out a bit more. There we go. And then, because I've gone a little too far with that grey, touch that up a bit. The brush I'm using at the moment is a Psycho Insane Detail brush from Army Painter that I've used so much that half of the bristles have fallen out. So you can see there's not much of it left. Works really well though. I love the Blade Runner reference in Cowboy Bebop. Nearly shit a brick when I noticed it. Yeah, there's so many really, really good little references in there. And there's a lot of nods to the show and the anime and the universe that the anime is set in as well. Which is nice. No, I didn't rock it. What happened? Okay, so I'm now going to go back with my not completely broken Psycho and just catch in those areas where I've got paint that I shouldn't have got it. Make sure we've not got any more like that. No, that looks okay. A little bit there. Okay. Yeah, Ray, that was good. I am a big War Games fan, so that was a nice one for me. No fridge alien though, that will remain a shit. Yeah. I was hoping that would be a season 2 thing. But yeah, as Destroyers pointed out, that not going to happen now, unfortunately. Super obvious Star Trek reference, yeah. There was a lot to love about that show, I think, and one thing that I think a lot of people agreed on, whether they liked the show or not, is that giving Vicious and Spike a proper backstory instead of a tacitly implied one was a really good idea. Because that was one thing that the anime never really did. Like, you know, you got flashbacks and stuff like that, but it was all very sort of left up to the audience to interpret what any of it actually meant. Which can be a good thing, but not always. Another thing I wasn't fond of is who they casted as Vicious, but I got over it in the end. Yeah, I thought he was a pretty good. He was a pretty good Vicious for the Vicious that they were presenting, if you see what I mean. I don't know what other stuff he's done. I think he's actually something from the anime. Ray, if I remember rightly. Heck, might even be in the manga. Which is in the loft, bollocks. Yeah, I've got the Bebop manga knocking about somewhere. But my books don't fit in my office, so I had to pack a lot of them away when I moved in here. Yeah, exactly, Destroyer. Like, a lot of people were annoyed about that, but I think it's a sensible thing. Like, you wouldn't go by your actual name. And heck, you probably wouldn't go by your actual name afterwards either. Good question, Ray. I think the anime is mid-90s. Can someone check for me? Might be later than that. Oh, we've got all these bits up here that just aren't taking the paint. Gonna have to put him at a funny angle to get them. There we go. Sorted. There's a track I've not heard in a while. Overlord is a show that I started out really loving and have just sort of lost track of. I know Slow's still watching it, but I loved the first season, and I loved some of the stuff that was going off in the second season, but I don't know. It wasn't the same show that I signed up for by the second season. Finally got around to reading Starship Troopers. Oh, enjoy it? There we go. That's better. April for the show, May for the manga. 98. Thank you, Tids. So it was late 90s. I remember catching Cowboy Bebop on Toonami and recording it on the old VHS. Nice. Not showing my age. No, definitely not. Okay. Let's get some shading. Yeah. This is the shit. Let's get some shading on his face. So, for the fur on my raccoons, I've been using this cheap and cheerful acrylic paintbrush, which has taken a beating. So, if I put it there, you can just about see that it's quite fluffy, it's quite frayed. And that's fine because it's a cheap and cheerful brush. But it also lends itself really well to what I'm trying to do here. The music video for this, which you can see on the little screen, so fucking good. Such a good track. Oh, that's the wrong grey. So I'm using the Mechanica Standard Grey, and I'm just putting a little bit of it on the brush, and then brushing in a single direction so that we get all of the lines moving in the same direction. It's well loved. I would not say that. Because then the paint doesn't go on evenly and we get sort of streaks, which is exactly what we want because it makes it look like layers of fur. You can kind of see it a little bit on the legs because I've already done them. I'm going to put a little bit more on the tail. There we go. Now I'll do the back of the head. And a lot of people get really daunted by the idea of painting fur, but this technique works really well for me. It may not be the best technique, but, you know, I found something that works for me, that's what matters. There is no right or wrong way to do stuff like this. There are preferred methods, sure, but each to their own. One man's garbage is another man's potpourri. Because I had no knowledge of the source, I watched Cowboy Bebop as a sci-fi fan and a writer, and it worked on both levels for me. I liked it. Yeah, exactly, Ray. I think the problem is a lot of folks went into it with certain expectations because they'd seen the show. And I'm pretty good at putting that kind of stuff in a box when I go and interact with a piece of media, shall we say. So I was able to go into it and go, I wonder what they're going to do with it. And I really enjoyed it as a result, because I wasn't expecting anything from it. I wasn't expecting it to do any specific things. There were things I would have liked to have seen. Like, my favourite character got very little airtime. Oh no, that was a big firework. It's not midnight yet, you pillocks. You're not supposed to celebrate until the new year is here. Planks. Yeah, my favourite character got basically no airtime whatsoever. And I would have liked to have seen more of them, obviously. Oh! Gunship's Eleanor Rigby cover. Who put that in? Tids, good choice. Something crime words. I hate fireworks. Yeah, same. I mean, I hate them because they upset my dog and my friends. But still, wholeheartedly agree with you. We need new gunship material. We do, yes. Definitely. I'm surprised they haven't put anything new out recently. Okay, you can't really see what I've done very much, but that's okay, because it'll come together later. I'm going to get a little bit of the elfic flesh and just very gently brush it onto the tips of the ears. I'm using the Psycho for this, in case you were wondering. I'm going to do the same with his hair, actually. Yeah, I understand that, Tids. It's the same with one of my other friends. It looks like he's got frosted tips now, but to be honest with you, I imagine Venkman would be the kind of guy that would have frosted tips if he could. Close enough, Tids. Hang on a second, folks. I'm getting a phone call. Have a stretch, have a drink, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Hey everyone, I'm back. Oh, and I came back at the right time too. Good track. No, Porthos, I'm not letting you up right now, mate. You've just had your food. You smell awful. Go on. Thank you very much, Pudlord. So, the phone call was my mum saying, can I bring some gin round for you? I have a little bottle of gin. Which, hope you don't mind, I'm going to crack into it now. Let's see if I can do a little bit of bottle opening ASMR. That was a bit wet, wasn't it? Ho, 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 ho. Hello. That's good shit. Cheers. No, I'm sorry, Sol. This is a me-sized portion. Oh, that's really nice. Welcome back, Tids. Now, I immediately removed the label, so I can't remember what flavour it's supposed to be. I think it's plum gin. It's very nice, though. Oh, yes. Do like. You want to sniff it, Porthos? No. Porthos doesn't like gin. Probably for the best. Okay, where were we? Now, I've got to make sure I don't drink too much of it, because I won't be able to paint. Need me wits about me. You talk about how disgusting pet food is, awfulness. You're cute, pet, but your food is like the underside of a troll's bollocks. Yeah. Porthos has, shit, this is a track I've not heard in a while as well. Getting a lot of good shit in tonight. Actually, let's use the batter brush for this. Don't get too fucking trolleyed. I'm not gonna, don't worry. No, okay, I can't use that one. It's too splayed for this. We'll go for... No, we'll go for the insane detail. We can do it with the insane detail. Just gotta be careful not to put too much paint on the brush, because we don't want it to be too thick. So I'm deliberately not applying it evenly at the moment, because the way raccoons' facial features are set up in terms of the coloration of their fur. Yeah, I'll show you what I did with the other one. It sort of blends into everything else, but they've got this sort of white mask. It's almost like they've got a surgical mask and a bandit mask, for want of a better description. So I'm just using the elfic flesh, just on its own, nothing mixed in with it, to do the surgical mask. Speaking of surgical masks, has anybody else seen the, I think it was the CDC report that came out this week? There's been the first reported case of what was it? Antibiotic resistant gonorrhea reported in a heterosexual male in the UK. So PSA, if you are having relations with a person and you are not sure of their history, make sure that you're using protection. In fact, it's often a good idea to use protection even if you do know their history. Just to be safe. So something straight's ruining it for everyone. I was talking to Slow about it earlier as well, and he was saying there's actually, for anybody that watched the Venture Brothers, there's a joke about antibiotic-resistant gonorrhea in the Venture Brothers, and da-da! Take that, Simpsons. With all your predictive bullshit. Yeah, that really amused me this morning. It's just like, yep, there's another thing to add to the list. We'll just get that out the way in 2021 so we can enjoy 2022. Oh, this was Destroyer. I was going to say, did Dammy put this in? But no, it's Destroyer. Best anime theme tune. It's just so catchy. I think one of my favourite things about painting these guys has been that it doesn't have to be tidy. Can't wait for the weird-ass plot lines we'll have in 2022. Yeah. Do you think we'll finally get that alternate timeline season? Yeah, that works, so... Aliens for the 2022 plotline. Aliens. Like, I know he's nowhere near finished yet, technically, but he's already looking so much better now that he's got, like, the markings on his face. Most of them. But even here, I'm trying to make sure that I only paint in one direction so that if there are lines, it still looks like fur. Hey, Mothel! こんばんは。お元気ですか? Rock the Dragon is not a good theme tune. Fair, Destroyer. All of the above, Mod Hail. in all seriousness, I've got some hopes for 2022, but I'm not going to set myself any resolutions. I'm not too fussed about making his nose look right, because that's getting another coat of paint on it in a minute anyway. But the bit around his nose, now that needs to be right. Crappy this. Oh, bless you. Oh, I don't blame you at all, Mod Hale. I hope you feel better soon, and I hope you can at least get a little bit of rest while you're here at the Retro Raccoon with us. Speaking of the Retro Raccoon, I am very, very excited about what's coming for these streams in the new year. I've had a chat with a couple more folks within the community about possibly guesting. So we've got a nice little lineup of community guests. Very, very excited about that. And I've started putting together some of the assets for when they visit us. Good resolutions, Tits? Oh, that's awesome, Mod Hale. There we go. It looks like an actual raccoon now. So what I do, just to make his mouth stand out, and I've done this on the other ones as well, is I get a bit of the Eshin Grey and I line his lip like I did with his eye. Just so that it's not like a black line, because I think that would be a bit too much. TMNT, fabulous. This is not the TMNT intro. I remember. I've got to admit. Not even a single mention of Heroes in a Half Shell. Still good though. There we go. Think. Actually, no, we need to put a little bit more of the elfic flesh there, because I went slightly outside of the bounds and it looks weird. There we go. Different version, but we got the Heroes in a Half Shell. I'm happy. When I was a kid, my parents got me a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles joke book. Turtle power? Sorry, it's Pavlovian. Yeah, no, I get you there. Oh, that sounds great, Sheridan. Menu. Grind the fuck out of Quake. Porthos is knocking shit over in the background. Sorry about the weird noises there. Others I'm going to keep to myself, so it'll be a nice surprise. Awesome, Destroyer. Yes, hello, Porthos. Oh, the baby wants scratches. No. They just thought because I really liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, they thought I'd like the joke book. But it had some jokes that would not get past the censorship board nowadays in. Which I won't repeat because they might upset people. But yeah, damn, those were a thing. Thank you for the treat for Porthos, Torpor. I might let him up in a little bit. I'm never going to get this raccoon finished though, am I? Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of the black primer and a lot of the Eshin grey to make her a slightly darker grey to fill the ears in with. That's better. Much better. And then a little bit of the Mechanica Standard grey on the outer edges. To really make them pop. Beautiful, but much better. Much better. Oh, thank you for the treat for Porthos, Sol. Time to appease him. There you go. Oh, posture check time. Okay, Porthos, now you can come up because I've got to do a posture check anyway. And a stretch. Thank you very much, Modhel, for making sure I take care of myself. So we'll have the stretch first. Oh, you folks at home, you have a little stretch too. And check your posture. Right. Come on then, Pete. Oh, whoa. Steady, mate. It's a little too eager to get on the chair then. I'm just going to check, because I don't know if you two know each other from outside of the streams, but is everything okay, Cypher and Dark Angels? Difficult to differentiate between friendly banter and not in some situations. I'm going to do the shoulder straps now. I do think this leather brown, which is turn that down a bit. There we go. Which is an army painted paint. Goes on really weird in comparison to the rest of them. So as much as I tell folks how I do things and whatnot, I don't generally give proper advice because I don't think I'm, really in a position to do that. But one thing I would say is don't, for want of a better description, marry yourself to a specific brand of paint. Because sometimes there'll be like one specific paint in a range that just you don't gel with. But you might really like the rest of them. Like this brown is kind of but it's the best brown I have for this particular task at the moment. Okie dokie, Cypher. Enjoy your food. Oh, Porthos, your breath is very smelly tonight. I have to brush your teeth. I have to get Slow to brush your teeth because you hate it when I try and brush your teeth. You at least entertain it when Slow tries. Okay. Yeah, so that's the shoulder straps done. Obviously, we've got to do lots of more detailed work on the armour to make it less flat, but I'm going to focus on the fur for now. I'm going to put a little bit of elfic flesh in a couple of places on the fur. Just to pick out some bits. I'm going to take my beaten up brush and just get a little bit of the elfic flesh over here so that I can get it really thin on my brush. Oops. And that's why you have to make sure it's thin. But that's fine. Oops. Getting it all over Oki. But that's fine. We'll get a little bit of the lighter grey. The Mechanica Standard grey, that is. And just, for want of a better description, buff out some of the white that we've just put on there. The elfic flesh. There we go. Sorted. There's still a little bit of the grey on my brush, which is actually probably going to make for a nice effect when mixed with this elfic flesh here. Hopefully. Yeah. Way too heavily loaded on one side. There we go. I'm just trying to pick out some of the tufts, because this particular raccoon has a lot of tufts on his fur, whereas the others weren't quite so tufty. Bleh, unexpected coconut. Oof. See, I quite like coconut, but when it's unexpected, it's never fun. So I find it really interesting that this is the only raccoon in the bunch that isn't wearing shoes. I mean, if it was supposed to be a Bruce Willis raccoon, I'd understand. But did Venkman make a habit of walking around barefoot? I didn't think he did. So raccoons tend to have quite light arms. They have a lot of pale fur on their forearms. Hey, Mum! How you doing? Thank you for the gin, it's lovely. I can't remember what flavour it was, I threw the label in the bin immediately, because I'm terrible. So if you can let me know what flavour it is. And thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Torpor. Much appreciated. I shall hydrate. I shall check my posture. And I shall have a stretch. Oh, you bugger. Oh. You're just spending all your points before the year's out, man. Is that what's going on here? And then we'll give some scritches to Porthos. Spiced plum. There we go. It is lovely. It's very, very nice. Is Venkman clear enough on camera for you folks? Actually, I should ask that after I've done this. Is he a bit too washed out now? Because if I turn that down, I can't see what I'm doing quite so clearly. But I do want you folks to be able to see what I'm doing as well, so... How's that, actually? Because that should be just enough light for me to get on with what I'm doing. Bruce Willis actually voiced the raccoon in Over the Hedge. Really, Geist? I did not know that. Huh. Looks fine to me. Cool. Thank you, Dark Angels. Okay. I think we're getting there, believe it or not. So I'm going to go get some skeleton bone. And this is quite a thick paint, so I'm actually going to water this one down a bit. My Citadel paints are all pre-thinned, but my Army Painter ones aren't, because they're already in dropper bottles. Some of them don't need pre-thinning in my experience, because they're already thinned in such a way that you can get them out of the dropper bottles. But with the paler ones, they tend to go on better with a little bit of water. Hey there, Royston, how you doing? And thank you. I'm glad to hear that. So what were we talking about before I took my phone call? And Happy New Year's Eve to you too, Royston. We were talking about goals, weren't we? So, I know a few of you responded, but what are your goals for the year? For the new year? If you didn't already answer me. And I suppose I should tell you what mine are as well. We talked about fireworks. Yeah, fireworks suck. Porthos is being a very brave boy, aren't you, baby? Yeah. Brave boy. Why do you smell like poppadoms? It's so weird. No, I've not thrown the bottle away, just the label. Hey there, Alicia, how you doing? And thank you for the hydrate. I will actually properly hydrate this time. Ah, yes. Some of the folks in chat have not met Porthos before. This... Come here, baby. This is Porthos. He is... 11 years old. He is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. And we adopted him about 5 years ago. Maybe 6. And he is a lovely little boy. He looks after me when I'm poorly. And he's very, very clingy. He likes to always be close to me. He's scared of other dogs. He's scared of fireworks. But he loves people. Nearly 12, yeah, nearly 12. You're old, ain't you? Getting old. But he's a lovely little boy. Unfortunately, he also knows exactly how to play to the camera without ever being on the camera, like he's doing right now. Like, I can move my camera down a little bit so you can see him better, but he will just move himself out of shot eventually. He always does. Don't you, sweetheart? Like, the only time you ever look at my camera these days is when you think I'm live and you want a treat. Okay, so it's 6 o'clock. I've got an hour to finish this bad boy. Can I do it, chat? Do we think I can do it? I've done the complicated bits. Welcome back, Pudlord. So I'm going to mix a little bit of the Rakarth flesh in with the skeleton bone that I've watered down. Because this will give us a nice sort of dark beige colour for our shadows. Thank you, Scyther. Oh, yeah, going back to the Dark Souls conversation from earlier, Cypher is the reason that my Dark Souls character has the name that she has. Because when I got to character creation, and thank you very much, Royson. Okie dokie, Destroyer, you take care. Thank you for popping in. I hope you have a lovely night with your friend. And Happy New Year. I hope you have a great 2022. I bet you are, Cypher. Yeah, so I got to the character creation bit and it's like you have to pick a name for your character, and I went, oh shit. Well, I could just use my actual name. But that doesn't really fit with the aesthetic of the universe. And, like, if I do stream it, then I'll need to think up a... There we go, look, he's laid down now. You can just sort of see his ear because he's resting his head on the arm of my chair. If I do stream it, then I'm going to need a characterful name. Like how Longfang's Dark Souls character was called Strongfang, you know? So I need to think of something witty for that, and I was just like, I can't think of anything. Really want to get started on this playthrough. What am I going to call myself? And I'd got a notification on Twitter from Cypher, who, as you've all seen, calls me Tanabeth. So my Dark Souls character is called Tanabeth. And there is some weird shit going on with my Dark Souls playthrough. Like, I have had things glitch out of existence. My favourite one so far, I say favourite, it really annoyed me at the time. But my favourite one so far, I was entering a boss room, and just before the boss room, there's these really tough enemies. And there's 2 of them. Pain in the arse to kill. Most folks recommend that you just run past them and go straight into the boss room. But I wanted to clear them out of the way. So I killed one of them after a very long fight and summoned myself help from Solaire. And then was going to fight the other one with Solaire's assistance and then go into the boss room with Solaire so that we could beat the boss together. And the second one had vanished. Like, I could hear him stomping around somewhere, but he was completely invisible. So I couldn't fight him. And Solaire wasn't trying to aggro him, so I figured maybe he's just glitched out of existence and I can carry on with the boss fight without having to worry. So I head towards the boss door. And I go through it, and as I'm walking through it and the animation's going, to enter the boss room. Solaire turns around and starts firing at something behind me. And he never joins me in the boss room. Which doesn't matter, because the second I get into the boss room, I'm stabbed in the back by the enemy that wasn't there when I entered the boss room. It had glitched out of existence in the room it's supposed to be in, and sort of respawned halfway through the boss door. So it could see me, it could hit me, but I couldn't hit it because it was technically behind the boss door. And I died. And shit like that happens in my playthrough a lot. And I don't know why. So my character's full name is now Tanabeth of Glitch. She is from the Kingdom of Glitch, where these things happen all the time. She's like a low-key warlock or something, I don't know. But she doesn't know it. Okie dokie, Rosen, you take care, and have a wonderful 2022. I hope it brings all the good things that you want. Oh, that's really cool, Geist. I don't know if I'm completely screwing up my angles now that I'm sitting funny in my chair so that Porthos has got somewhere to sleep. Doesn't look like it. But do let me know in chat if things are... In the Kingdom of Glitch, you always cut open an apple before eating it, just in case it's actually full of sawdust or slugs. Likewise, doors are outlawed due to the number of people merging with them as they walk through. Yeah, exactly. It's not unheard of for you to be in the middle of a deep and important conversation with someone and to them to rubber band back to where they started in the morning. The sky is an unending vista of purple and black squares. Yes. I'm loving this. This is so good. Like, Longfang says I should get proper art of Tanabeth of Glitch done at some point, but that's going to be, like, far in the future when I've got money again. Because I am still paying for my last commission, which was worth every penny, but yeah, I can't get any more art done for a little while yet, but I will get Tanabeth of Glitch done, like proper coat of arms and everything at some point. People walk around T-posing, yeah. I do love the idea that Tanabeth is the most functional person from her hometown. I mean, completely inaccurate to real life, but we play games for fantasy, right? Only the most powerful of glitchomancers are able to actually leave Glitch. Oh my god, that'd be amazing, Tids. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm gonna thin out some of the darker areas on the front plates because they're a bit much at the minute. There we go. That's better. The flag of Glitch is a white flag with a little red X in one corner. All their postcodes start with 404. National colours are pink and black checks. 404 is the area code. Yeah, that works. And you know how every country has like a national or a like they have an animal as well as like colours and stuff like that. The national animal for Glitch is missing no from Pokemon. National monument is a big red flashing error. Plot twist, everybody thinks that Glitch is the reason why things go wrong, like the location itself, like it's on ley lines or some weird shit like that, but no. Glitch is in the heart of every person who's born there, and you take it with you. The national anthem is a loop of discordant sounds. Drumroll, their biggest employer is Bethesda. Oh, bravo, Geist! The national sport is placing runners right on the wall and making them run. Oh, you folks are having so much fun with this, and I am so glad. Oh, you know what I've not got on here that I should do? Some rotten flesh, I think it was. Here it is. It was hiding behind the primer. Nurgling green. There we go. Need a little bit of Nurgling green for the belt. Because their belts are a slightly different material. So they've got this slight green tinge to them. No. We've learnt this lesson the hard way once already tonight. Shake the bottle first. Occasional barely understandable whispers. I'm trying to plant a melon in Fallout 76 while I type this, so yeah, fair. Fair. Oh, no, it's plugged. That was why it didn't work. Silly me. Hey, smooth the groove. Such a talented fellow. He was really, really poorly not long ago. And he's done some stuff like he's changed his diet and whatnot. Tree branches sway through nearby buildings. When you see dogs running in the park, their legs don't move, they just sort of glide across the floor. If you make a car built in Glitch slalom, it slowly gets wider and wider. Rain and mist phase through the walls and the ceilings. It's really quite beautiful. Tourism Bureau in Glitch says, enjoy our vistas and roads. They seem to stretch on forever. Because they do. Good luck getting out of here. So I'm mixing the Nurgling green with the Rakarth flesh. to get this sort of murky green khaki colour. Not got quite enough green in it. Oh, that's an air bubble. I don't think I'm going to get this finished tonight. Random, you fucking legend, mate. Gods of Olympus are angry and threaten a terrible revenge. You defy the gods? I sentence you to travel among unknown stars. Until you find the kingdom of Hades, your bodies will remain as lifeless as stone. Porthos doesn't either, ma'am. Films in Glitch will sometimes stop and freeze at important points, and then skip over those important points and just be at the end of the movie. Fire behaves oddly in Glitch, often cutting out a long, solid straight line at its top and... Whoa, yes! Not going to lie, aside from the obvious absurdity, Glitch does sound weirdly beautiful, like a waking dream. I'd be okay with that, Budlord. That works for me. Glitchian dentists are best in their trade, for if one gets too close to another human being, one can glimpse through their skin and muscles, leaving only floating eyes and teeth visible. Oh, it's haunting when that happens. Some medical facts about Glitch. The three most common blood types are A-pose, T-pose, and ragdoll. Glitch is the world's leader in SFIS, or spontaneous face inversion syndrome. This is wonderful. You lot are so fab. But you have fucking run with this so beautifully. How is it only 6 o'clock? Well, it is 20 past 6, if that makes you feel any better, Kian. Get a bit of primer on there, because I've got paint where it shouldn't be again. One of my favourite things about this primer is that it works like Tipp-Ex. But not so lumpy. Well, on the plus side, Cypher, all of this chat will be available in the Twitch VOD. So, like, I don't know, maybe I can go back through it at some point and just copy-paste it all out. In Glitch, you're not looking directly at something waving in the breeze. You can sometimes see it moving in odd, laggy motions out the corner of your eye. I mean, that's what the real world is like for me, Sheridan, so... Oh shit, I drank all the gin. Bugger. Oh, back to the iron brew then. In Glitch, birds rest in thin air. Thermals, innit, Geist? In Glitch, no one can hear you scream until your voice gives out. Then it comes all at once. Oh my god, that's horrifying. I love it, Pudlord. Okay. We actually only have the proton pack left now, by the looks of things. Everything else is done. What did I do with these? Let's have a look. I painted them silver. Okay. So, we will mix the paint for the proton pack then. Thank you, Squig friend. In Glitch, it doesn't matter that my head is empty. Oh, ma'am. Your head's not empty. Okay, so my go-to colour mix for the blue that I've been using for the proton packs is mostly Elatok blue and a bit of Mechanica Standard Grey. Okay. Oh, does it do that in low detailed mode, Sheridan? I didn't know that. I'm a fancy bitch, you see. I don't have it in low detail mode. Oh. Porthos, sweetheart, I love you to bits, but you take up so much of my chair somehow. Like, it's really quite miraculous that you managed to take up that much of my chair. Dogs are like toddlers in that regard, from what I understand. Most known, well-known regiment of renown in Glitch is the infamous wall snipers. Their enemies say sometimes it looks like they hold their arms with their head, like right in the middle of them. In Glitch, anything at the edge of viewing distance is reduced to large fuzzy blocks, which is quite disconcerting if you are the one at the edge of viewing distance. Cats as well, eh? Dark Angels. Okay, so yeah, it's this very sort of almost washed out, I guess, grey-blue that I use for the proton packs. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because this is the only one of the raccoons that doesn't have the proton pack just firmly against their back. And being me, I have to make sure that I paint every bit that should be painted, because otherwise it will bug me. Team Glitch car drive you. Yes, session. I know it puts stuff you're not currently looking at in it. I've seen it a few vids on it. Very interesting to see enemies going at a frame per second. Wow. They use camera hacks to show it. That's amazing. I'll have a look at some of them videos then. Like, I love some of the stuff that is done to make games run better, or to make them take up less space. It's really, really interesting, the kind of workarounds that people come up with. In Glitch, I have experienced some very strange Pokemon. Hey, Trollhole, how you doing? From the Glitch Math book, if you have 5 apples and you give away 6 apples, what do you do with your 256 apples? Yes! The last king of Glitch was executed for starting a war for no apparent reason with a neighbouring kingdom that had recently gifted them a large hoard of gold and had pledged their allegiance. Sully the Witch does a lot of vids like that. Oh, I'll have to have a look. You can get down, P. Hang on a sec, folks. Go on, then. If you go in, go. This dog, eh? Most car accidents in Glitch involve playground swings. Hot damn. Oh, he wants to sit down again. Just being awkward. Ain't you, bub? Oh, I ain't got me yellow out either. Do that in a minute. See, I forget about all the little foibles on these. Pasta bake in the oven, bubbly in the fridge.
Hello there.
Last Blight Lord getting splooshed with pain. Awesome, Trollhole. Well, good luck with the Blight Lord. And I hope you enjoy your bubbly and your pasta bake. All the wealthiest Glitchians have 99,999 units of currency exactly. At that point, you can accrue or lose any random amount of money, but your balance stays at 99,999. Are worms a biological glitch? I wouldn't say so. I like worms. Worms are cool. Okie dokie, tids. Take care.
Hello there.
Hey, Steggy, how you doing? But yes, so I will stream Dark Souls at some point, once I've played through the game at least once, and know what the fuck I'm doing. And you will either get to meet Tanabeth of Glitch, or her Switch counterpart, Tanabeth of Switch. 'Cause I had to, didn't I? Awesome, Steggy. Trying really hard not to get paint on those two buttons, because they're not buttons, they're lights. Oh, he's gotten down! He got down! He got down! There we go. Just fix that. Right. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. We can get this done in the next 30 minutes, probably. Not as precise as I'd like, Steggy, but I'm trying. Mostly my own patience at this point. Once they're asleep, post glitchless. Yeah, the real reason why Tanabus never takes off the piggy hat that she found in the undead parish isn't because she loves the piggy hat, though she does. It's because since she left Glitch, her face has just been constantly inverted, and she's too afraid that she'll frighten the friendly locals if she removes her helmet. Yeah, Solaire's a friendly local. Well, I guess he's not really a local, but he is friendly. And there's the onion fellow. Siegmeyer? He's nice. He chuckles. He's not very helpful, in my experience, but he's nice. Indeed, Modhale. I feel like this was deliberately put in the jukebox to help me speed up my painting, and if that was the case, thank you. He's trying his best. Yes, Steggy. Solaire's lovely. I like Solaire. Oh, cool, Rocket. I should probably be looking at how I painted the other proton packs, but here we are, and I'm not. Let's do that now. Okay, so this bit is blue. I think the one downside to Solaire is he's become a bit of a meme. And he's a really interesting character, and it would be nice if more than that single dimension of him could make it out into the wider world. Like, as someone who lives under a rock, I knew the whole Praise the Sun thing, because the meme is everywhere. He's a lovely character. The first time you meet him, Steggy, he's just staring at the sun, like the sunset, and he's just so chill. And he's... if you don't encounter the shopkeeper, he's the first character that really talks to you, aside from the guy at the beginning. And the guy at Firelink is just like, he's a bit of a knob. He tells you what to do, but he doesn't think you'll be able to do it. Proved him wrong, didn't I? Twat. But Solaire's just like, yes, this is why I'm here. Why are you here? And you don't say anything to him, really. like a silent protagonist, but just that sort of moment of quiet contemplation before what happens next is very, very nice. I really like him. And every time I've encountered him, he's just been a very nice character to talk to. I mean, Siegmeyer is as well. He just laughs about everything, Siegmeyer does. Which, you know, good on him. Oh, it really is, Steggy. It's wonderfully done. This bit also blue. But preferably without painting over his fingers. Fabulous. Spot of Sabbath. Admittedly, with the worst rhyming couplet ever in it. But still a good track. DS1 NPC storylines sure are unique. Oh, I've only I'm only at An Orlando, so I don't know full details. I don't know, Cypher. This bit's supposed to be silver, but I'm just going to paint it blue and then paint over it. Yeah, I can imagine. I know I've missed some stuff for Sieg already, because he didn't turn up somewhere where he was supposed to, which means I probably missed him when he was there. Which is a shame, because I would love to know more about Sieg. Seems like a really interesting character. But there's always next playthrough. You know, when I know what I'm doing properly. Heck, I could even do it on my Switch playthrough. This is really awkward. I think I've got it all though. Yeah, that looks okay. Just this bit now. And then that's all the blue done. And we can get on with silver. How are we doing? 20 minutes. Okay. I'm not going to make this too crisp because we're going to be putting a load of silver on this bit. Don't forget the top. There we go. Right. That's that bit done. Now I'm going to get a slightly bigger brush. This is my character brush. This couldn't possibly go horribly wrong. And I'm going to get the lead belcher that I got out earlier. I'm not covering the top bit completely. I kind of want it to be sort of messy, as it is on the other ones, but not that messy. There we go. I want it to be more like streaks of silver. There'll be some areas where it's not particularly, for want of a better description, streaky, but that's fine. We'll do that. There we go. And now, do these bits. We are really getting there now, which is great. Because what I would like more than anything else is to have a little bit of time to fuck around with the water effect and figure out what I'm going to do with that, like how it works and stuff, because I've not had time to test it. I was going to test it before the stream, but we were walking Porthos, so that didn't happen. Right, I'm going to go back to my insane detail brush for the rest of it, because I want to make sure that I don't get silver paint on anything. The only time I'm really concerned about making sure that I don't get paint on areas where it shouldn't be is when I'm using metallics, because you can't just paint over them, because you end up with sparkly stuff that shouldn't be sparkly. And we don't want that. Oh, okay, Podlord, you take care. Thank you very much for popping in tonight. Hope you have a wonderful new year. And I hope 2022 brings you all of the things that you want. And welcome back, Tids. I was so engrossed in making sure that that I was making progress on this at a decent rate that I was just not looking at chat then. I am sorry, folks. Just really, really want to finish it. Like, I really like the idea of going into 2022 with the project I was working on finished, so we can do something new, you know? I'm thinking about getting back on with my squig backlog in the new year. And maybe some of my Night Lords as well, because I've made Crazy Ivan a promise that I will have an assembled and painted Night Lord's army so that I can, next December, play against them. So I've got a lot of work to do. I won't be taking my Venom Crawler with me for that, so I don't need to worry about painting that as much, because it's kind of spider-like and it gives some folks that I hang out with the Wiggins, and I don't want to do that to them. I mean, it's actually only got 6 legs, so it's not a spider, but it looks close enough to a spider to be a problem, you know? I used to know all the words to Cruel Angel's Thesis when I was younger. I taught it to my college choir. It's an insect, yes. It's very insect-like. I mean, it's a tank, so it's not even really an insect, but the way it's structured is very spider-like. Just happens to not have as many legs. Right. I think that's most of the metallic bits. Got a couple of bolts. Oh, we've got this bit here. I always forget that bit. And this here. Got a little bit there that should have blue on and doesn't. So let's fix that now. There we go. And a bit on the top. Silly me. Oops, too much paint there. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie, Mod Hell. You take care. Right. Little bit of green for this light. too much. And a little bit of green for this light. Fucking great track. And then a little bit of red for this light. And this one. Oh, cutting it fine now. I'm not going to get the water effect on before the end of the stream. Which is a shame. Oh no. There we go, that's that bit done. Where's my yellow? I've got a bit of demonic yellow. For the cable here. There's a trick that works really well if you're using this yellow on big flat areas. You put a pale pink underneath. And it makes the yellow really pop. But for the purposes of this little cable, I think that's a bit unnecessary. I think if I hadn't had to take that break, I might have just done it, but yeah, we've only got 5 minutes left, I think. So it's going to be really tight. It works so well, doesn't it, Kian? It's actually Unity that told me that trick ages and ages ago, and I'd never had the opportunity to use it. Till there was something I painted. Oh, it was when I did the Ukrainian flag squig for my mum. That was it. said that putting the pink on it was unnecessary, and now it's not going on the way I like it to. The way it normally goes on. Typical that, eh? Streamer's curse and all that. Nah, that's fine, actually. That's alright now. Okay. So, the raccoon himself is done. And, within my time limit, I've just got to put some Nuln Oil on him. Just to pick some bits out. Which I'm going to do with the character brush. No, the detail brush, actually. Got some crevices to get into. I find the Nuln Oil really helps on the tails. Because you can just really load it up in some areas and not others. To get the shadows in. We'll splash some on the base as well. This is all going to get covered up in a bit, but, you know, we'll know. Slightly less now. Just get some under his neck, under his arms, on the proton pack. Oops, bit too much on my brush there. Oh, you know what I've not done? I've not put any highlights on the armour. Oops. I always forget something. That won't take me long. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Nikki. Happy New Year. You have a good nap, and thank you for popping your head in. I see what your request was, Tids. I'll if it'll let me. There we go. I have gone over. I'm just going to quickly do these highlights and get those metal bits in, and then I'll just have to finish the rest off stream because he's going to be finished before midnight. I've decided. So all I'm doing is just running some elfic flesh along some of the edges of the armour. And where the sort of fold lines are. I'll have a little bit there as well. Oh dear. Got a huge lump of... there we go. Fixed it. Huge lump of Nuln oil there. But yeah, I'm gonna have to practice the water effect and do the fluorescent bits and his name off stream. But with this one last bit, there we go. I skipped it forward one for you, Tids. So no, it didn't play in time, but thank you, Seggy. There we go. Boom. Yeah, so I will do the Slimer effect off stream, but the miniature himself is done. We've got the proton pack all sorted, and considering he was mostly primer when we started this stream, I think that's good progress. Yeah. He looks alright, I think. What do you folks think? Ah, I see what you mean now, Cypher. My comment about the worst rhyming couplet in music is because generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. But yeah, thank you everybody. I'm glad you like him. But yeah, so I won't put any pictures up straight after the stream. I'll finish him off first and then put the pictures up. Oh, poor sauce, sweet pea. Oh, right in the stomach. I tell you what, pup, come on. Let's get you back up. Up. Good boy. Seeing as this is the last happy hour of the year, I feel like we should go out on something akin to a bang. Not an actual bang though, because fireworks suck. So, it me! Hi! Let's see if I can get Porthos in shot as well. Sort of. Come in. There we go. Okay. Mwah. Thank you for the scritches for Porthos, everyone. So, thank you everyone for coming along to this, the last happy hour of 2021. There will of course be more happy hours in the new year, featuring the beautiful boy, if he wants to sit with me, and featuring me. And as I've mentioned on a couple of streams previous, featuring some special guests in the future as well, which is very, very exciting news. This has been an awful year, but you folks have made it better. You have made it bearable. And I can only hope that I've made it a little bit more bearable for you all too. So, thank you, everybody, for being here tonight, last week, every other time you've been here. I hope that 2022 is a better year for all of us. Oh, Sheridan, you sweetheart, thank you. I hope 2022 is a better year for all of us. And I hope that whatever it brings you all some joy. And we're going out, seeing as it's Friday night, on the best song ever. Right. Bar rate is broken again. Marvellous. But we're doing our usual Friday night thing. We're going to raid Longfang. I will not be able to stick around because I'm going to be marathoning Lord of the Rings extended editions with Slow. So I want you all to take your best and happiest wishes of a great new year into Longfang's stream with you, and have a really, really good night, everybody. So, I will be back on New Year's Day, either playing Pokemon Snap or Luna's Fishing Garden, depending on what wins the poll. We'll find out tomorrow. And hopefully I'll see you all then. And until I do see you all, as always, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Wash your fucking hands! And have a great new year, everybody. Here's to making 2022 a fucking amazing one. However we end up spending it. Right. Go say hi to the long boy for me. Bye, everybody. Happy New Year.